Hello, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing okay. Okay, let's talk about angling. Yep, cutting right to the chase. So Summer Echo was just released for global, and roughly 2 weeks prior it was released for CN. And you know how an event stage stays past an event's ending? Typically, the playable stages become unavailable while the shops remain clickable for a few more days. This time, Revived Witch doesn't need to remove the events area entirely because the area is staying for yet another summer event. More specifically this time, an officially stated rerun of Isle Adventure. They didn't mention any returning dolls with this event yet. Not even Soigutsu was highlighted like how Assurant was for the previous first rerun event, Phantom Mirror of Stars. Though I doubt anyone other than her will be in the event shop. One question comes to mind when it comes to her is, will they take this opportunity to give her a Japanese dub lines, replacing the old one? I guess that remains to be seen. Anyways, the doll that will be released with this event instead is none other than Angling. So yeah, the floating name of the invisible character, the witch goes back and forth with in Summer Echoes, and CN specifically, which I lightly went over in my Sherry's update, is Angling. And she is a Saltstone Destroyer. The bit of her backstory that was shared is basically the same info learned from the Summer Echo story. I don't know if you watched my gameplay of that event, but when she showed up in that story, I talked about how her live 2D animation looked because it looked janky to me. Though it was only her background, the model, the character's animation looked fine. But her background, the water thing, looks a bit not all that polished when it comes to the animation. So with that in mind, and her not having an illustration in CN's Summer Echo, plus a slight difference in her illustration from poster to poster, what do you think the reason behind all that? Was Angling attached to that name later, as opposed to her being intended for that role? Perhaps this was yet another messy scheduling mistake. I feel like this could be the result of them rushing because they plan on perhaps soon running the same event simultaneously for both servers. Odd conclusion, right? Well, I'm curious to see what everyone else thinks. Okay, let's discuss her skills now. Her first skill, the Order skill, deals a certain amount of physical damage to the enemy in the front row and adds a bite effect that will last for a certain period of time. Bite takes physical damage equal to a certain attack value per second. Nothing much can be said about this skill, but her second skill, her Chaos skill, seems to complement this one. What her Chaos skill does is deals a certain amount of physical damage to all enemies, and if bite effect is attached to the enemy, the damage received will be increased by 50%. And her passive skill also improves this bite's effects alongside other things. So her passive skill, the physical damage taken is reduced and reduce the physical defense of the target with the bite effect by a certain amount of attack. Her unique equipment: after releasing the Chaos skill, within a certain period of time, increase self-attack, and a certain percentage of physical damage dealt will be converted into health regeneration. Seems like the only thing that increases her survivability is her unique equipment. Of course, unless you have other healing characters in the team. But all her other skills are offensive, right? Excluding the one attached or additional damage reduction. Okay, that's the end of the video. Sorry if that video was too short, but hopefully all the information in it will be sufficient to help you make a decision whether you want to get her or not. So yeah, what are your overall thoughts on her? And when she gets released in Global, will you be interested in pulling her? Personally, I actually really like her design. I very specifically like her pixel character. I haven't yet seen the animation for it, but I feel like it's gonna have fun animation rather than your typical sword slash or, you know, kind of basic attack. I feel like her with the fishing pole, they may get a bit creative with how the attacks look. So yeah, I actually want her, but depending on the time, right? So I don't know if she get released soon. I might not have enough for her because I'm predicting a lot of characters that I want get a rerun soon, so I might have to skip her because yeah, I'm not gonna pull for her because of her skills, because I still use Ella, you know, Ella's just good enough for me. So yeah, if I'll pull for her, I'll pull for her when it's convenient and simply because of how she looks, her design. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching.